Let's talk about credit cards. I've said it before and I will say it again. If you have access to credit cards with perks and you are a responsible spender and you are not using those credit cards, you are missing out. Debit cards give you absolutely nothing. Stop using them. Some things we do need to note first though. Credit cards are not free money. If you cannot pay off your spending every single month, you cannot be buying whatever it is you're buying. And no, I'm not talking about things like medical debt, obviously. I'm talking about like the new Gucci bag or whatever. So you need to pay off your credit cards in full on the due date every single month. I know there is some advice out there saying that it's good to build up debt and then to pay it off, but I genuinely believe that is just credit card companies putting out predatory advice. I have never carried any debt on any credit card and I have excellent credit. Okay, but even though I just told you that credit cards are not free money, on the other hand, they are for just a few weeks. I saw a video on here about a girl who paid off her credit cards every single week. Don't do that. There's no reason for that. Keep your money in your accounts, earning interest for you. Pay off your credit cards the last possible moment. And I do suggest turning on auto pay so that you don't miss a payment, but also if you do miss a payment, just call up the credit card company and ask them to waive the fee because they probably will. Okay, but let's talk about why credit cards are so great and why you should be using them. Easily one of the biggest perks of credit cards is their sign-up bonuses. These are sometimes worth hundreds of dollars. They do require minimum spends. These spends vary from like maybe a few hundred to a few thousand in the first few months of holding that credit card. So if you're planning to make a big purchase, get a new credit card, get the sign-up bonus. And if you sign up for a credit card that has a sign-up bonus, really try to hit it. Here's an example of the current sign-up bonus with Capital One's Venture Card. You get 75,000 miles once you spend $4,000 in the first... My buttons were covering it. It's in the first 3 months. That is a lot of miles. Also keep an eye out for credit cards that waive the first annual fee. For example, this American Airlines Citi card is $99 annual fee, but the first year is $0. And you should be doing this even if you're not actually thinking about canceling, and if it's not your first year, it doesn't matter. Call up a credit card company, tell them you're thinking about canceling the card. Almost always they will offer you a retention bonus. Okay, some other things to look out for. If you live abroad or you travel often or just generally, make sure your card does not have any foreign transaction fees. It's pretty common that most cards don't these days, but just keep an eye out. I use cards with travel perks, so that's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm showing you here. But there are other perks as well. You can get something like an Amazon card, you can get a cashback card, and then even within travel, there's options between hotel points or airline points or general points. But then there's also behind the scenes perks. Look for things like car rental insurance, general travel insurance. And also almost every credit card is going to give you so much more purchase protection than a debit card ever could. Personally, I could not imagine making a big purchase on a debit card or renting a car without travel insurance on a credit card. So I have loads of credit cards and they all give me different points, all based around travel. This is a blog post that I wrote about my frequent flyer credit cards, the ones that I use and the trips that I've taken because of the points that I've gotten through them. Here's an example of a trip that I took with miles. I flew from Bali to Doha to Amman to Cairo. Okay, I took a lot of layovers because I go cheap AF. But y'all, I paid $17.50 to get from Bali to Cairo. And I only used 25,000 miles for that. Like, do you understand how far those two places are? $17.50, friends. Like, if you're not getting these points with all of your purchases, what are you doing?